Welcome to the part 3 of the video tutorial series How to Read Electrical Diagram. In today's tutorial we will learn how we can read and understand the wiring for the PLC outputs, and that include digital outputs and analog outputs. Before starting today's session, I would highly recommend you guys to please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the more upcoming video tutorials. First, let's see the PLC layout diagram. Digital output card with 32 digital outputs is installed at the slot 6 of the PLC rack. We can see the details regarding this card on the diagram on sheet number 6. As you can see that all 32 outputs are mentioned here along with their addresses in the PLC program. Let's suppose if we want to see the wiring for the two outputs A1.1 and A1.2. If we look closely, the page number is also mentioned in front of all outputs. So we can find and see the wiring for A1.1 and A1.2 PLC outputs on the page number 40. You can find the outputs A1.1 and A1.2 on the page number 40 and in the column number 3 and 4. The terminals 13 and 14 are for A1.1 and A1.2 outputs respectively. A1.1 PLC output will turn on the KM403 contactor coil through the normal close contact of KM404 contactor. And A1.2 PLC output will turn on the contactor KM404 coil through the normal close contact of KM403 contactor. This means that both contactors KM403 and KM404 are interlocked with each other and only one contactor can be turned on at once. As you can see that the NO and NC contact symbols along with the page number are mentioned under the coils of these contactors. The wiring for the normal open contact of these contactors is mentioned on the page number 15 and column number 2 and column number 3. On page number 15, we can find these normal open contacts in column number 2 and column number 3. The three-phase supply is coming from the page number 14 is fed into the motor protector breaker QF152. The output three-phase supply from the breaker is connected at the input terminals of the contactors KM403 and KM404. If you notice, L1 and L3 wires are interchanged at the input side of the contactor to run the three-phase motor in reverse and forward direction. Next, the output side contacts are looped together to make a single three-phase output. This supply then goes and connects to the three-phase motor. These three output wires are connected at the terminal strips U152, V152 and W152 on the DIN rail M6. As we have seen earlier, KM403 contactor will turn on with a 1.1 PLC output and motor will run in the forward direction. And KM404 contactor will turn on with the PLC output A1.2 and motor will run in anti-clockwise direction or in the reverse direction. So this is how to read the diagram for the PLC digital outputs. We will go back to the PLC layout diagram. Here you can see the analog output card with the 4 analog outputs is installed at the slot number 10 of the rack. To see the details of this card, we will go to the sheet number 8. On this sheet, all analog input and output cards are mentioned. We will see the slot number 10 card. This card has 4 analog outputs. Let's suppose if we want to see the wiring for the first analog output PAW272. It is analog signal for the VFD. We will go to the page number 51. You can see that the two wires brown and blue are coming out of the output terminals of this card. If we zoom this sheet, you can see the wire tags. Brown wire has 5110 tag and blue wire has 5111 tag. Next, you can see that little arrow marks with tags 12.9s are mentioned. This means that we have to go on the sheet number 12 and look for these wires inside the column number 9. Same wires 5110 and 5111 are coming on this sheet and are mentioned in the column number 9. These analog signals are connected to the VFD analog input terminal FR and FC. This analog signal is a frequency reference signal to control the motor speed for the PLC. So this is how to read and understand the output signals of the PLC. One of my subscribers has asked the question that why we connect negative DC wire to the ground earth terminal in the drawing. Let's see a simple drawing where we have a DC power supply connected to the bulb inside a machine via breaker. You can see that we have connected the negative DC terminal to the ground and the metal body of the machine is also connected to the ground. All of these ground symbols are connected to each other via ground wire. In normal condition, if we turn on the breaker, the current will follow the path from the 24 volt DC terminal of the power supply to the breaker input. Through this breaker, the current will go to the one end of the bulb, and after passing through the bulb, it will come back to the negative end of the power supply. This will complete the current circuit and the bulb start to glow and turn on. Let's imagine if the positive wire gets shorted with the machine body. Now the current flow path will change. Current will flow from the positive terminal of the power supply to the breaker input side, travel through the breaker, comes out and goes toward the input of the bulb. But as we said earlier, now this wire is shorted with the machine body. So it will not go inside the bulb, or rather it will travel on the machine body and goes toward the grounding wire. And through this wire, it will travel back to the negative end of the DC power supply. As the DC negative and the machine body are linked together, so this will create a short circuit between positive and the negative terminal of the power supply. As the current reaches the breaker limit, the breaker will trip and cuts the current path. This will protect the wiring and devices installed in the machine. I hope this answers the question, and let's come back to today's video tutorial. I hope you like it. Do share, like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more upcoming videos. Till next time, take care and goodbye.